We can sum up America in one word.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Pints and Politics. We have Joe Biden, the politician, over here. He's lost his hair, but it's all good.
And let me be clear, I'm only going to say this once. All right.
You know the thing.
You know the thing. Come on, man.
Welcome, everyone. And
yeah, we're getting sidetracked already.
That's okay. We're outside today. Beautiful day out. Couldn't say no. We're on the river. I don't know about you, Mike. Big fan of rivers. I'm weird.
Beautiful. We are sitting right here in
Wahoo Valley.
Wahoo Valley, God's country. We got kayakers going down the river right now, having a great time. Weather's beautiful. It's been hot all week. We went to the lake earlier today, kids and the wife and I, and we met up here to do the podcast today at Wahoo, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
How can you not be in a good mood?
Beautiful spot at Wahoo. They got campground right across the road. Right across the river, right? It's been a while since I've been here.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the campground is.
Yeah, it's like right across the street, but if you are a camping type of person, this is a great place to be. Food here is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely 100% shout out Wahoo Valley. Also, it's called Wahoo Valley. You can go Wahoo.
I guess it's a thing.
It's a thing. It is a thing.
You know the thing.
You know the thing.
The thing.
Come on, man. Anyway, today, what are we talking about today, Mike? We're a little chaos?
Well, yeah, right here we have beauty, we have order.
Tranquility.
We have nature.
Mike's in awe, guys.
It is. It's just awesome. And then we talk about politics, and what is it? Chaos.
It's chaos.
Chaos.
A mess.
It's frustrating.
A crapshoot, even.
Tomfoolery and hijinks.
Malarkey.
Malarkey.
A lot of malarkey, malarkey, the thing.
When I was in Scranton,
I had hairy legs.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, though, we're seeing a lot of chaos lately in politics. We're actually, right now, we're seeing a lot in the Democrat Party.
We are.
It sounds like they're trying to oust Joe Biden.
It does, and that really surprises me. I
really,
look at the numbers, look at politics. They've been backing up to this point. Why all of a sudden after the debate did things look so bad? Because most people have been watching, paying attention to politics, and saying that there has been a cognitive decline for quite some time. And I have to admit, when he was first elected and he fell up the stairs going to Air Force One, I actually, because people were picking on him for that, and I said, he's an old guy.
Yeah. This
can happen to anybody, young or old. We don't just pick on somebody for a failure like that, whatever. Well, it happens.
Yeah, but then you listen to him talk, you start to hear the slurred words.
Right.
The Badicalf care, the Truanana Shabbat de pressure, or I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. Don't quote me on it.
I think today or yesterday already, he referred to Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump.
I could see that. When he first got elected, he even said he referred to Kamala Harris as the president, even. Mm-hmm. And there was another event he was at with his wife. He said, "I'm Jill Biden," or "I'm Joe Biden, Jill Biden." He struggled. It sounded kind of like that.
And he called the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, Putin, President Putin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. That
just happened this week as well. So, you got to look at all these things. But it's not like it was a secret.
No. I think it's because they got him on the debate, and it was so poor they can't hide it anymore. And that's why they're trying to oust him. That's my opinion.
So here's another take on it. And I know some of the political talking heads said that really what's gonna take here for him to drop out is the money.
Oh, really?
Right? And George Clooney had done a fundraiser for Biden 2 weeks before the debate, something like
Recently,
that.
Yeah.
Recently. And now he's coming out saying he's got to step out of the race.
Yep.
So when the money dictates who your candidate is on the Democrat or Republican side, think about that.
Yeah, because we're big fans of our endorsed candidates.
Yes.
Right? When it comes to endorsements.
I believe in the endorsement process.
Yeah, and that's, Vox Popularum?
Voice of the people is the voice of God.
How many times do we bring that up? This has got to be the fifth, a lot, because in a way, we're very, I'm not going to say democratic, but we're very into that voting process.
Right. It is. It's a smaller sample set.
Mm-hmm.
The endorsement process is, but it's reflective of the larger.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
So,
the whole idea of a republic.
yes.
Representative government, right?
Right. This is the way it's supposed to work. And we have this system in place. Ours, on the Republican side, is our endorsed Republican candidate.
Yep.
Now, and this is something most people don't take into account. They say, well, let's just go to primaries. Do you realize in the state of Minnesota we have open primaries?
I've heard that, yes.
So if I, John Q. Public, wants to create chaos,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of voting, if I'm a Democrat, I can request a primary ballot that is Republican. Now, all of those Republicans, you get one ballot that's Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can vote for the least likely candidate if I want.
Yep. That's a very, very popular tactic.
It is.
People do that all the time.
So
I've never done it. I believe in voting for somebody instead of voting against somebody.
I agree.
But I understand the tactics. I honestly don't fault it either. If it's allowed, if that's what you think is the best option, you get a vote your little heart's content.
I believe even Rush Limbaugh called that Operation Chaos.
It is chaos.
And there again, we're tying chaos into this whole
That's
thing.
the theme today, isn't it?
Chaos.
Sounds like a theme.
Mm-hmm. But there again, and I think that's what really frustrates a lot of people.
Well, people don't like chaos. It's harmful.
It's disruptive.
It's disruptive. It's harmful. It throws
causes animosity.
Yep, it does.
And I just, it's really tough for me to even put it into words. When we can't get behind our endorsed candidates, or I take that back. I'm in support of the endorsement process.
Yep.
Is it perfect? We talked about this just briefly. No, it's not perfect. But nothing is.
Yeah, perfection doesn't exist.
So we take the best that we can and we work with it. But in politics here, it seems like it's so fractional.
Mm-hmm.
It's so chaotic. We're seeing that on the Democrat side now. You've got people in politics in the state of Minnesota, Democrats in politics in the state of Minnesota, who are calling for him to step down.
Yep.
You got Walz, who came out and said he's our guy. So even on the Democrat side, there is a huge division back and forth as to where this is going to go. But now, going back to the money,
Yep.
Who do you think they're going to support? Because right now there's polling going on like crazy.
Yeah.
Who can beat Trump? Right? And that's what they're looking at. That's what they're doing right now while all this chaos is going on, is who is our best candidate
Yeah.
to beat Trump?
I don't think anyone's been setting up. Gavin Newsom might have been. But then again, when it comes to criticizing him, you can just look at California.
California is a mess.
It's
chaos.
It's a failed state almost.
That's right.
It's on the track. And then you have let's see, Kamala Harris, who nobody likes.
Cackler in chief.
Cackler in chief. Yep. Wanted to use slave labor for guys on death row. That was a thing. Tulsi Gabbard called her out on that one.
Huh.
There is other than those two, there's Michelle Obama.
Yep.
But I don't think she's that popular. I do not think she's as popular as everyone says. Because I remember she brought up the Let's Move Active School campaign as a way to help fight childhood obesity.
Yep.
And it was initially a diet thing, but it ended up changing to exercise.
Yes.
But she still managed to change school lunches, and people I know who went through that, because she changed the school lunch after I'd graduated high school. But I talked to high schoolers who had to put up with that. They hated it. They absolutely hated it. So ask your kids if they like their school lunch. I guarantee you, that's Michelle Obama who changed the school lunch.
So now she hasn't been in the public spotlight.
Nope.
We have no idea where she stands on stuff, on issues. The endorsement for the Democrats is coming up in 3 weeks?
Month?
4 weeks now?
I think it's like early August.
Okay.
We'll get a fact check on that one. When's the DNC?
And the Republican endorsement is next week.
Yep. Is that next week? Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
That's coming up fast.
That is.
Yeah, make some phone calls.
So there again, what is this chaos going to develop into?
Yeah, it's gonna be a crapshoot.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Also, with Michelle Obama, I think there's a conspiracy theory out that she's a man.
I don't know if he's a man. I mean, she's a man.
No, I don't think so either. But it's hilarious. It's absolutely. It makes me laugh every time. They think they call her Big Mike.
I don't know. I see this stuff and I kind of chuckle.
Yeah.
I just, what is, I don't know.
Anyway, so that's
You
my.
had to pull that in, I guess, didn't you?
Well, it's a thing. It's an actual thing. There's a conspiracy theory. I'm calling it a conspiracy theory because it feels like one.
Well, and then you talked about the exercise move.
Oh, let's move active
Let's
schools.
move, there you
Yeah,
go. Yep, and part of that, they had a video with her dancing on
yeah. You've
Ellen
seen
or
it too,
something
didn't
like
you?
that.
Yeah, it seems conspiratorial.
It does.
I think Michelle's a woman.
I just look at it and I go, what's the difference now?
Yeah, I mean, she can identify. It's 2024, guys. She can identify as whatever she wants. Okay, we're very I can't say that. I can't go that far.
I'll worry about it when there's proof.
Yeah, like if she flops it out on the table, yeah, okay. Little excessive. Sorry,
That'd be proof,
sorry
I
for the
guess.
imagery, but
That'd be
that'd be
proof, I
proof.
guess.
But
Okay.
again, back to it. We got chaos.
Right.
And on the Republican side of things, at least for the presidential, it's pretty cut and dry that it's going to be Trump.
Right, but now look at the national level when we talk about this chaos. How does our standing as a world leader, how does this look when we can't even decide who we're going to put in as president, when you see all the chaos going on, and yet we're supposed to be a superpower?
Yep.
I mean, this is horrible. It's horrible for politics. It's horrible for people. It's
Yeah, it's really, like, when you put it that way, it's also really bad for foreign relations.
absolutely.
Yeah, because other countries like North Korea is going to be looking at us like just thinking, hey, we can invade South Korea. Or China, they've been eyeing up Taiwan for a bit now. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they've been getting close.
Yeah, so those issues, when we have chaos here, it reflects over the whole world.
Yeah,
And I do, when you watched the debate,
I did.
and we talked about it. I don't think that podcast turned out because of noise.
Yeah, no, we had to cancel a podcast.
Yep.
Noise. Yeah, that's one of the issues with meeting in public. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and
Yeah, that time we lost horribly. I chose a bad location. We were at a fair and
yeah,
too much background noise.
it
But
it happens. It's a thing, and it's one of the things we have to sacrifice, and it's okay. And plus, it also kind of sucks. We both have busy schedules. I have a full-time job. You have campaign season.
Yep.
It's chaotic.
It's family, it's chaotic.
Yeah, family chaotic.
But we talked about that debate
Yeah,
that time. And one of my things was, I know everybody's got a different take on the debate, when Biden came shuffling out,
yep. The Biden shuffle.
and
Oh, we should make that a dance.
it'd be a horrible dance.
Yeah, you just get all of his
Biden
quotes,
shuffle.
all of his gaffes, and that's the dance. Put a trap beat on it, and there you go.
So, and I think I've said this before, I had not seen him on camera for a long time. I don't watch regular news. I just don't. I had heard about a lot of the stuff. I listened to radio, listened to podcasts. So I hadn't seen him on TV in a long time. To see him shuffle out for the debate, the optics were horrible.
Yeah, because he was taking really short steps, wasn't
Yep. It was bad.
he? Geriatric.
And then as the debate itself, there was many mistakes,
A
things
lot of
that
gaffes.
gaffes. There was a lot of that. If Trump had simply ran a debate like a debate should be run, not attacked his candidate, he could have probably stood back and folded his arms and come out the victor on that debate.
Well, he did, didn't he? Trump was the most statesmanly I've ever seen him before in my life.
I will give him credit. He did a lot better than he normally does.
Yeah, very composed. For him, I was impressed.
But for one of his attacks is always said he's not presidential enough, and he's always attacking. Okay, he could have walked away from that debate and everybody went, wow. And instead of it's more of a partisan, the Republicans say he did good, Democrats say Joe Biden did okay,
For what Joe Biden can do, he did okay. Because I watched his State of the Union and he was on point, but again, you could still tell he was in that cognitive decline that we talk about. You can tell if you watch the State of the Unions from the past 3 years.
Well, and the office really takes its toll on a person.
It does.
Really does. You can see the progression, the age progression on any of the presidents, even in 4 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So chaos.
Yeah,
That's
run
where I
chaos.
say chaos. If Trump had come out and just been, this is what we're going to do.
And
This is what our game plan is. Not what I did, what I did, what I did. I wanted to hear him say, this is the problems.
yeah.
This is the solutions. I wish he would have came out like President Reagan
Oh yeah.
and been much more stately. And I think he could have walked away with his hands down.
Yeah.
So I think
That's
there was
not
a
Trump.
missed opportunity, though.
That's not him though. People would think he was like drunk or something. You can't. Trump is bombastic. Everyone knows what kind of guy Trump is. It's kind of hard to do that. But again, he was very statesmanly. He attacked Joe Biden like during the debate. When he would attack him, it was like, "Hey, this is what's going on." But then he would even call out Joe Biden when he thought he was right, when they were in agreement. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, there was some good points there.
Yeah.
I mean, he did better than some of the other debates. I think the setup was better.
Yeah.
By cutting the mics. I think that was good. But yeah, everybody's got their own take, and I think sometimes those takes are really more reflective of our own personalities.
Okay. What are you trying to say?
I say I want a more presidential president.
Yeah. That's going to be
I really
tough.
do.
That's going to be real tough.
Well, with the chaotic state of politics,
And the chaotic state of the country, even, it reflects. It 100% reflects.
it does.
Because, like, you can look at I've noticed this, and it's weird because this year seems to be an off year for this. But every summer during an election cycle, as far as I can remember, going back years, so it'd be every 2 years there happens to be some kind of big riot. Like, because we can go back to 2012 with Obama. We got, was it Michael Brown? Ferguson? The Ferguson riots. And then afterwards there was
Was there Charleston or something?
2014. Who was 2014?
There always seems to be some chaos.
But yeah, some kind of, and it normally devolves into riots. It's 2016, there was just the Trump being elected. And then 2018, it was,
Floyd, wasn't it?
oh, George Zimmerman was 2014. I think it was George Zimmerman.
Okay.
And that was Florida. So you had Ferguson and then Florida with Zimmerman.
So you're saying we can expect some sort of...
Well, I have been. 2020, big election, big riots. Rioting all summer, actually.
So the same thing is going to happen now.
I'm expecting it. I'm just surprised I haven't seen any riots. I'm really, really surprised. And maybe it's because that chaos looks bad. It looks really bad.
It's possible.
Yeah. I feel like the George Floyd riots, it felt tactical and trying to intimidate.
You know, there always seems to be some catastrophe.
Yeah.
Something that happens around election time. You're right. And that's the ugliness, I think, of elections.
Yeah.
Or the using of ugliness in elections. I was talking to somebody today and he said, I would love to be a legislator, but I would hate to campaign.
Oh, we saw small riots this year. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we did with the Hamas, the Israel and Hamas protests at the schools. Yeah, that was chaos. So we got it very light, but we did get it with the Israel and Hamas stuff.
So do you think maybe we'll see more of that when school is back in session?
I don't know, because there's a lot.
Because now that would be September. September, October, general election is in November.
Yeah.
But
how would that look on the schools? Schools are going to be struggling for admission with that.
Oh, schools have...
Can you imagine?
Admission has already been dropping.
Yeah.
All of the universities. Wow.
But anyway, back to your thought. Sorry if I derailed that.
Well, and that's I don't want to see the chaos.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody does.
Turmoil. I wish we could have debates. I wish we could have discussions on issues and let the voters decide. And instead we see the corrupting influence of money.
Yep.
In politics. We see the chaos, which is sometimes even just taking advantage of an opponent's missteps.
Yep.
And I get frustrated with this because I think we could do better.
Yeah. I feel you. On that. Again, I think people just want to win so much that they will bail. Like, they won't respect the endorsement because it's their turn to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to call out some Republican tactics. We got some local area. Otter Tail County has been very chaotic, and it's been frustrating. It really has. It was CD7 was chaotic because of them. State convention was chaotic because of them. And
well, when we say them,
like
because of the situation.
the situation, yeah. By they, who's they? They, it would be like Otter Tail County drama stuff. And I don't know how much we dived into that, but if I were to recap, basically they struggled with local level election and their BPOU and caucuses.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a issue with who is supposed to be delegates and not.
So, yep, that's the
Crux, right?
Yep, breaking it down. I was in the metro yesterday, meeting with some people, talking to them, and that issue came up, and the guy said something to the effect of, well, that situation in Ottertail.
Yeah.
And he kind of chuckled. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? And he said, we went to the state convention. He goes, I don't know what your guys' problems are up there, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
So that chaos ends up having this negative effect on so many other places.
They
So
look bad.
Right. Don't we want a little bit of order, a little bit of structure? I say we put the candidates, let them have a debate. People decide. And I think most people have already decided for the most part who they're going to vote for, which way they're going to lean. Let's get the candidates up on stages. Let's hear them talk about things. I listened to one from a candidate in northern Minnesota. It was a forum the other day.
Okay.
A House rep against, I think the other guy is a mayor up there. And it's very orderly. It was just very nice to listen to. Different points of views on some things. I like that.
Yeah.
I want to know what that person's thoughts are, how their stand is on things.
So do you like it as a debate structure, like a structured debate where you have your talking points and you say, this is because...
Sometimes the formal debates can get too rigid.
Yeah.
Where as a forum where you have a chance, 2 minutes, there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah. So my favorite, and I know they've come to mind, but I'm just a fan of like casual conversation, kind of like what we do here. You sit down, you have a pint, and you just talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can argue, but I'm a fan of Socrates, even though he's wrong about his utopia and his government style and how to raise kids, but he's got his issues. He's not perfect. I disagree with the man, but very smart, and I like the way he would conduct a conversation. It's about finding the truth, and then once you find out the truth, then you find out how to go forward.
That's right. I think those are the discussions I like to have. I like to listen to. I like to hear civil discourse.
Yeah. Conversations about ideas.
Right. And we can discuss
and a humility is that you can be wrong, but at the end of the day, you choose what you choose, and we can respect each other as neighbors and as equals. I've been Joe Biden all day. Holy crap.
I think it's the heat.
It could be. I've had a long day, though. I've been up.
I know I didn't drink enough water today.
Yep, that'll hit you. Oh, we got that river right there you can jump on. That's good. That's a nice river. Mind you.
It is beautiful looking, but I don't know if I'd want to drink in it.
I probably wouldn't. Maybe 100 years ago it was probably clean, but it is what it is.
How picturesque is that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it that well behind us. I got the glare on the screen, but got the bridge in the background, the trees behind us.
Yeah.
How much nicer. When I say this is God's country.
Yeah, well, compare this scenery to what you look outside of your office in St. Paul. They're demolishing that park and put up a... It's weird. It's weird. So you got all these climate change people. They all want to save the environment, but they live in these concrete jungles. And those of us who are drill, baby, drill, destruction to the planet, like, this is how we live.
You choose to leave the metro to come up here to enjoy what we have.
Yeah.
And then tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yeah. Isn't that ironic?
It is.
It's so ironic.
So now that was the other thing we were going to talk about today, and you brought up the concrete jungles.
Oh, yeah.
The changes from the office. So I was at the Capitol yesterday, had to take care of some paperwork, take care of a few things. The state office building, the SOB.
Yep.
And the palace to politicians, the $730 million palace to politicians, the boondoggle. That's, by the way, that's the base. That's the floor.
That's the floor?
That means the price can only go up from there.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I'm guessing we're going to be closer to $1 billion by the time that's done.
Fun.
So in the meantime, they put us over in the Centennial, which I hadn't been in there till though. So I was in there yesterday, checked out the new digs. We, for the next year, are going to have cubicles, which will be fun, enjoyable, good times had by some. And I look out the window and you see concrete, you see a parking ramp, you see everything else, and I go, why am I leaving this for that?
Yeah, it really is something.
It is.
But anyway, I think we're getting distracted by all this nature.
It is. It's beautiful.
It is. It really is. I need to jump in the river at some point. Not today.
Let's go back to one thing. Let's talk about the palace to politicians.
Yep.
$730 million there. But the feeding our future
fraud
that is going on in this state of Minnesota, and it is coming to light more and more and more now. That is, put this into perspective. When we know that right now, about 40% of your, 45% of your income goes to taxes.
Yep.
Inflation is taking another 15% out of your income. And you find out that your elected officials, through bureaucracy or other departments or whatever, are wasting or
laundering.
I was going to say some other stuff, but there's basically your taxpayer dollars.
They're getting wasted. It's being wasted. Yeah, the fraud is a huge issue. Did they get a conviction in the Feeding Our Future trial?
I don't remember how many of them.
Well, I know a juror got dismissed because he was taking bribes. They found him with a literal bag of cash.
120,000, and I think they found 2 of those bags, didn't they?
Yeah, actual bags of money.
Yes.
Like, you might as well just put a dollar sign on him, give him like one of those masks, old robber masks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. Yes, this should infuriate. I think I said that right.
And we've been Joe Biden today, so it's all good.
This should make people so mad that your dollars are getting wasted. And I think Epoch Times did an article on it, or somebody had come out and said...
Alpha News has a couple. There's one today I was going to bring up, but there's no signal out here because, again, we're on
country.
Yep. So
Alpha News has got some great stories.
Alpha News does.
Fraud.
No, it definitely follow that, and we're keeping an eye on it, and we will dedicate more time to this.
Right.
I just don't have all the information today.
There was an article, and I'm going to have to look it up again, but I think it was somebody in the federal government said that if we looked at fraud in the federal government, it would be the 5th highest line item in our budget.
Yep, I don't want
to. In our budget.
Fraud.
It's billions of dollars.
Because
we don't have roads, bridges, infrastructure. We're struggling to keep that up, and yet billions of dollars are getting wasted. And
do you know who Sam Bankman-Fried is?
Yes.
Yep. Sam Bankman-Fried, Ukrainian guy, mind you. He's taken a lot of money in foreign aid from us, and then he's using that money to donate to his Democrat and also some Republicans. He's donating it to politicians in D.C. It's abysmal.
So what's happening is you're saying your taxpayer dollars are getting run through corporations, getting run through different entities, and getting used to elect people.
Do you want me to be blunt about this?
As blunt as you want to be.
Okay, we are getting screwed over, and I'm being family friendly by this. We're being screwed over so that some people can make a lot of money and live lifestyles that we will never have, and they will lord over us because they think they're better than us. And they have a slaver's mindset where they think you owe them stuff for doing nothing.
Every one of the American taxpayers should be pissed.
Yep.
That any of your dollars are getting wasted and going out to fraudulent entities. And then what do they end up with? A slap on the wrist? Are they going to have to pay back any of those millions of dollars? And then the other thing is, the money went through for the Feeding Our Futures fraud, went through the MD&E. What was their cut?
High. I don't know what it was. I don't have the numbers.
I don't either. So that came from the federal government, went through MD&E, a couple other sources. Every one of those departments, or
every level that it goes through takes
a cut.
Yep. And I can only...
That's right.
If I'm going to picture this, like if I'm going to put this into imagery, I can only think of it as a distillation. When you distill with a column still, here's my lesson for today. Column stills. Every time you go through a level in this column still, you lose water.
I was thinking more like a pyramid scheme,
It is a pyramid scheme.
where every one of those departments gets their cut,
Yeah.
and then the people down here at the bottom that perpetrated the fraud are going to go to jail, but everyone above there
Stays.
is going to stay.
Yep.
That is just frustrating to know.
Yep. And I'm trying to keep my composure here. I really am. You're frustrated by fraud, Mike. Oh, not a fan, huh?
I'm not a fan. This pisses me off because it's been going on for so long.
It's been going on.
Now people are almost just expecting it. It's like we know that there's fraud in government. No, we should not.
Well, they said the same thing about the 2020 election when they said there was fraud in the election. Bill Barr?
Attorney General?
Yeah. He came out and said, yeah, there's fraud, but there's fraud in every election.
Yeah, there's fraud in every.
And that one infuriates me. And we've been going on in chaos. That was our theme today, guys. If you couldn't tell, chaos, and we were talking about that. We'll go into fraud another day. It's just I didn't come prepared for this level of emotion. I'm trying to keep myself composed. Mike's slamming the table and bouncing my camera around.
Sorry.
We'll hit it one of these days. We'll go in depth.
One of the things that gets me is before I was even involved in politics, really, I had gone to one of the county conventions.
Yep.
A representative was there and was telling us about the daycare fraud that took place a number of years ago. And he said at that time, we know that there's millions of dollars that got wasted in it. So here we are, years later,
doing the
and
same
the numbers
thing.
have only gotten bigger.
Well, the same guys have the same office. Actually, that's a lie. They probably have a bigger office. But it's the same guys with the same job. It's sad. It's frustrating. And it takes you guys to vote. It takes more than that. It takes you to vote in politicians who will remove them or to limit them in some way. It's something that needs to get under control. And it's something that we're working on. Mike's working on it. Vote Mike. Vote for... If you're sick of the baloney of fraud and corruption, vote Wiener.
The American people got to get pissed off.
Oh, there's a lot of anger. There is. But we can't be overly chaotic in that anger.
No.
There's a way of doing it.
Smashing pop cans.
Yeah. Smashing pop cans and wrecking things. We don't need to go out and riot. That's not... No, we're not at that point.
We don't.
If we ever hit that point, it'll be sad. But anywho, I think we've gone for a little bit.
We have.
Yeah, cool off. I'm gonna throw Mike in the river, guys.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching. Joe Biden, even in the outro. Thank you so much for watching. Find some politics. Mike Wiener, Drew Peterson. God bless everyone.
Take care.